as Faker was
Welcome
able
guys,
to make
game
that
number
Ari
3.
counterpick work for what feels like the first time
Top
consistently from this
esports
tournament.
versus T1.
Yeah, as we enter Champions
Again
League
TC
powered by
दफा
Omen
top
and HyperX, you
esports
can already
फिर
see
ब्लू
carriers
साइड
were
पे
not
है और
taken
बैनिंग
off the board, but I
जरूरी
feel
है
like
सब दोनों
TES are
टीमों के
just
दरमियान.
juggling
जबकि
problem
लास्ट दो
champs
गेम
to
में
ban.
T1 जीत
First it was
चुकी
the
है.
bye,
T1 के लिए
then
गेम
it was
पॉइंट
the
है.
Sejuani. And this is
अगर
how it
T1
feels
ये
when you
मैच
lose the
जीत
first
जाती
two
है
games.
तो
You have to
T1
hope that there's more
सेमीफाइनल
that they have
की
prepared for this
टीम
series,
होगी
because thus
थर्ड
far
नंबर
every
पे.
option has failed them. The Rumble now taken out. They don't want to see it on either side.
T1 को
But
एक
the
गेम
junglers
जीतनी है जबकि
wide
टॉप
open. Sejuani
esports
game
को
1
तीन
was the
गेम में
pick.
लगातार
The
जीतनी
bye still
होगी
available for owner if he
जो
wants
कि
it.
डिफरेंट
And the
टास्क है,
Silas remains
काफी
the priority
प्रेफरेबल है.
for TES.
Okay, and they slam instantly the Gnar
इस
as
वक्त
well.
टॉप पे
With the
369
Jackson,
ने साइलस
Renekton,
बैन
and
किया,
Cassante
लॉक
and
किया है,
everything
जबकि
all
जियोस
up.
ने
They
अपने
want
लिए
that
किनार को चूज
versatile
किया है.
pick for
अब
Zayas.
देखना
And
ये है कि
this
साइलस
Zayas
जो
got
है
the better
टॉप पे
369.
गेम
And
खेलेगा
I feel
या
like just
स्क्रीन
full
से
confidence
मिड
picking
पे
Gnar here just
दोबारा
means
ले
that you feel
लेंगे.
like you're better.
That's straight up this.
लास्ट
You're
गेम में
picking
हुआ था.
Gnar into Silas.
अब देखना ये है
Yeah,
That is
क्या
that is
होता है.
what's next. They're gonna pick Alistair. That's one of the best ultimates that
फेकर
you can
इस बार
possibly get.
गैलियो की कोशिश
As,
में
oh, that's Fakers.
गैलियो लॉक करते हुए
The Galio, one of the ones we mentioned in the previous game as a possible cook
फेकर
into
मोस्टली
the
वही
Silas.
चांस चूज कर
What
रहे हैं जो
shows up
करीम
here, I will
से
say,
हार रहे
there is
हैं.
a slight
और
swinging
इसका
door
मतलब
open
ये
for
भी हो
a
सकता है वो
flex
करीम
even
को
into
बताना
support.
चाह रहे हैं.
Although that is very
इस चांस
far
को
down
ऐसे
the
खेलना
draft.
चाहिए.
Would have to be a very big surprise
फेकर
towards the
जो
end,
कि
but they
लेजेंड है
are red
T1
side,
के
and generally they're going to
T1
save
की
Carrier's
क्या लीग
final
ऑफ
pick,
लेजेंड के
the
ही
counter pick
लेजेंड
to
हैं.
red side, so keep it a
और
little bit
क्या
open.
इस वक्त जो
Incoming
है
through. Strong mid jungle
इन
duo, but
जहू
also
के
with Gnar
साथ
locked in. Few
जंगल
highlights of
करेंगे.
Silas interaction, but also the
अब
raid
देखना
armies
ये
of
है
T1
कि
aren't going to have the same
इसमें
liberty to
ऑनर
play at
क्या
arm's
चूज
length
करते
like they
हैं
did in the
अपने
previous
लिए.
game. They will need to go in when that Gnar bars up. It's going to take them about 30 seconds to recharge it. That's not the difficulty Silas is going to have when he
Jackie
steals that
Love
ult away, so they
Kaisa
have to be
के साथ
decisive. Now it's the
ADC play
Kaisa coming out. The potential for picks here from the side of TES.
IG Kaisa slammed here. Let's see it.
गोमायुची अगेन दोबारा से
For Jackie Love, it also
के साथ.
means that I think with the Ezreal we already saw him have a lot of agency in a very different way. Kai'Sa does exactly that. The amount of late game team fight carry potential you have, possibility
लगता है जहाँ तक के रकान को बैन करेंगे
mid to late
ताकि ये
game is
कम्बो
really
टूटे.
strong. I do feel like
क्योंकि
Kai'Sa,
रकान बहुत
contrary to the
अच्छा
Ezreal
एक
that's starting
बहुत
its
टैंक
items
है.
becomes a menace, you need more time. And that is a bit of a
देखना ये है कि
gambit
क्या
given
होता
how
है.
more time in this series has always favored T1. Guma, last game, you know, I gave some flack to Isaiah. I will remain convinced for now, after that game he played, was able to both maximize damage in the fights and never get touched.
This is the struggle, obviously. Blue side gives you that first pick priority access on the Silas. The red side for T1 means they're likely to have counter pick for support, so already seeing some of the worst defenders taken off the board. The Renata, universally quite powerful.
रनाटा को बैन किया गया है जबकि
Still
T1
relatively
की
open
तरफ से
against
जैक्स को
Sejuani. Bye. Both been banned in the
जो
series, not
कि
banned here.
Area
जियोस के
soaking
लिए खतरे का सबब बनते थे तो उन्होंने
What
जैक्स को
will
बैन
be
किया
the
क्योंकि
final
369
one
जैक्स में
from
बहुत अच्छे
TES?
हैं.
These
देखना ये
two,
है कि क्या
of
होता
course,
है आगे
go
क्या
to
चीज
pairings with the
बैन
Zaya.
करती है टॉप स्पोर्ट.
And Carrier doesn't have to go with another
Hmm.
engaged support, but he very well might. They opt
यहाँ
to
पे
go for the
लगता है
buy
कि रकान दिया
instead
जाएगा
here, take
दोबारा
it
से
away
बॉट
from
लेन के
Owner, who
लिए.
has been so good at it at Worlds with it so far.
Owner's pick expected to come through here.
Sejuani
is-
healing,
yeah.
Malachi even is a possible, well, not into a Silas.
Yeah, he already has
They
enough.
already gave him the Gnar. I don't think they want to give him anything else.
Oh, my.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Poppy.
Even better.
Oh, that is such a sick pick into everything that TS has
Literally
so far.
every-
literally all of them.
How many times yesterday did we see Peanut block a Kaisa from being able to
कैरियर
dive
भी
into the
बहुत
back
अच्छे
line and
प्लेयर
finish
हैं
the
और
kill off? And
ऑनर
that
भी
is what
कॉपी में बहुत अच्छे
TES
हैं.
want to
अब
be able to do with
देखना
all
ये
these
है
champions, find these isolated
दोनों
targets,
में
pick
से
them off
कौन इन्हें
for the
किस
Galio
प्लेन
before
में
anyone else
लेके
gets
जाएंगे
involved.
जबकि
Also, like you're running again a dive, a
Nico
short range
को-
cut into Poppy Galio. That's
Top
always going to be
की
tough.
जा रही है यहाँ पे
I think
तो.
you need to go for something like a Hail Mary, but
It's still a flex.
You're
Gnar
literally
का
diving
मुकाबला
into
Canon के साथ.
anti-dive right now.
Yeah.
You are full diving into full anti-dive. That is a scary
Nico ने
proposition
यहाँ
that's
for
not
TES.
great.
That
अपने
is a
लिए
very scary
Leona,
proposition for
Naughty
TES.
Dog,
But you can't pull off the brakes
लगता है
now.
लियोना ही लेंगे
You're already
क्योंकि
really
पूरे कम्बो
committed
के
to full
साथ लियोना
dive, so they're
suitable
going to
है.
full send it.
This
But
is
T1 have literally some of the best, if not the best, anti-dive in the entire game drafted for themselves.
also just Murntreads is insane in this
Leona
game. The
ही
damage reduction, the tenacity.
कैरियर
Now again, the Poppy remains in flex. We saw Pina bring it out in the jungle.
के लिए
Poppy
बेचैन.
support, super popular at MSI, less successful here at Worlds thus far. What is the angle? Ooh.
Can.
We don't trust Carrier, guys, don't worry. We'll see what actually ends up getting locked in here. I do think continuing with the theme of counter dive definitely is the way to go.
The global
Fight
pressure.
के साथ Carrier.
And
Fight
that
for
goes all
Zaira.
the way back to the DRX Carrier days. This man loves his Pike.
It
Carrier
feels so
बहुत अच्छे
poetic
player
against
हैं
what
Pike
could be an
के और
elimination
उनका
game for yet
favorite
another
map है.
LPL team against T1. Another name on the list for T1. How many times
देखना ये है कि
they
ये
take
गेम
down
आफ्टर
an
गेम
LPL
होती है
representative?
या
How many
इसके बाद
times
मजीद हमें
they
एक
knock
गेम
down the
देखने को
hopes of this
मिलेगी
region?
या 2 गेम है
It's volatile, it's explosive, and
यहाँ
I'll be
पे
honest, it's pretty
369 जो कि
damn
कैनन
risky
खेलेंगे
when T1 are
उनके
going to go for the
मुकाबले में
fight.
ज्यूस
I think
जो
it's
कि गिनार
a really
खेलेंगे
good
जबकि टियान
pick into
जो
stuff
कि
like
जिन
the
जहूर
Zin.
से
You know, they
खेलेंगे और
want to
ऑनर
try
उनके
and
मुकाबले में
pressure TN
पॉपी से
and look for
खेलेंगे
picks on him. The jungle
Cream
plus
जो कि
support duo
साइलस से
here
खेलेंगे
is just
जबकि
so
फेकर यहाँ
lethal.
पे
Poppy already counters Zin mobility, which is very
अपने
limited to begin
Galio
with,
के साथ
and
play
Pike
करेंगे
can punish it over and over and over. You burn that Zin flash one time, it feels like support jungle is massively in the favor there of T1. They also have legendary Faker at Worlds, Galio, at their back, ready to throw down Galio ultimates. I foresee the beginning of this game, Owner and Carrier being able to run wherever they want and determine the pace.
And again, a game where Carrier has so much agency. We haven't seen Pike since 2022 Worlds. This is a champ that, similar to Rakan, can be anywhere, can dance around a lot of these picks. The difference, Pike does a hell of a lot of damage early on. If he goes for the Hail of Blades, this is going to be tough to match.
Plus, it's a huge pressure on your mid lane matchup because this Galio pick into Silas is already threatening, has so much setup potential, and now you're going to have to worry about Pike roams from bottom lane, Poppy possible ganks as well from Owner. There's so much potential here. TES though, they have to dig deep. Our whole site has to be on TES right now. This is a must-win game for them to keep their year alive.
And in their first best of 5, back at MSI, right, which was Cream's first international, they were able to crawl their way back to a game 5. And then unfortunately dropping to Gen G, but that was the eventual tournament winner. Which was much more harrowing was then the follow-up series where they got 3-0'd. And you gotta imagine the amount of pressure on these players just to ensure that it does not happen again is something that's going to be weighing heavily on their minds as we go into this possibly final game.
And for TN, early jungle pick, a proactive early jungler. Diego wasn't successful. Ibram was not successful. This is our featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz for damn good reason, because this is the house that this man won Worlds in. And now he's on the cusp of yet another failure for a TES team that has been haunted for years. Carrier pulling away the blue, resetting the early path, and already is starting off with a small edge.
He can do it again.
Pike value showing up already here for Carrier. As you can see, Owner on the opposite side of the map because of the lane swap, starting on enemy Wolves with the Poppy and cleanly clearing their side of the map. Carrier now trying to get his level 2 in mid lane. Again, the top laners have the ability to teleport over. They try and defend with the level 2 tops and level 2 supports.
This pairing of Gumayushi and specifically Zeus and Gnar to just mow down turrets is something that T1 have been using actually really consistently. They love this pairing of Guma together with Zeus on a pick that can actually push nicely early. We'll see how much value they're going to get out of it this time around.
You can see level 2, they'll just delete that wave, the power of the boomerang, as well as the feather collar. Faker and Carrier try to get a bit of work done in the mid lane. Again, Pike alone does a lot of damage in those early levels. A Bone Skewer into the triple auto from Halo Blades, usually enough to take about half the health of any level 1 or level 2 champion.
So Carrier's going to try and slip in for the defense here. Owner actually went back to base, so they're going to teleport in top lane and try and 3-person defend, but Carrier getting pushed out from even getting to the tower itself. Owner is on the way walking. Guma is also walking, so they keep Zeus topside while everybody else from T1 walks.
Zeus, able to snipe a little bit of XP there without having to overcommit. Waiting to see if the TP would come through. Getting so much. 369 delayed on the recall. Carrier stunned. Like squishy early on, but obviously keeping the drown, keeping him relatively topped up.
That stun had hit, so close there. Not get the stun under the tower though.
Yeah, because Jackie actually did have turret aggro, took one, which is why his health bar kind of got chunked. The short-term benefit definitely here for TES. The advantage that T1 got out of that is that Zeus still has his TP. whereas 369 had to use it to go towards the top half of the map. The early gold lead, as you would expect in a lane swap, goes to the team that has their normal lane or has their multitude of members towards the bot side of the map.
Yeah, teleport advantage and experience advantage for the Gnar here, for Zeus. An exceptional performer for this squad. Again, last couple of years, he has knocked out 369 as well. Regardless of 369 being on a different team.
Will be the third year in a row.
And sadly for TES, JDG was in semis both times 369 was knocked out. It was not a quarterfinal. But they might not even get to see semis.
Right is good. Mako tries.
Phase rush as well, so he'll be able to get another auto down, just zoom after Mako, ensure that he can really just not do anything on the map. Carry on the way as well.
See how deep they go with it.
Follow-up stun, forces the flash. And Mako has to respect this because the burst damage in early levels from Poppy and Pyke together is incredible.
Yeah, Keria was pretty deep, so he ends up having to flash himself as well. Owner was already rotating to this top side.
TN, can he cover this dive? 369, not really great wave clear. Meganar fading away. Zeus a little bit more vulnerable. You can see that XP advantage paying off as 369 tries to get what he can.
But he doesn't have TP, so any damage that can come down onto him is gonna really stick.
Yeah, there's with the experience advantage, with the teleport advantage, chunking away, poking under tower, working away at half of a turret plate already.
Now T1 constantly active on the map. TES doing a good job of at least staying even in terms of overall gold. They're kind of forced to respond to what T1 is doing. Hook is excellent.
The setup, again, as we said, is always available in the Galio Silas matchup. Keria is there. They easily execute. And T1, they start their snowball. They craft it in the lane swap and in mid lane first.
And it's the Pyke that gets the kill as well. And there's a lot of supports where getting an early kill doesn't feel too impactful, but this pick snowballs so insanely well when you can get the early items.
And we'll see what the early itemization choice is, if it's still something like Umbral, if he wants to provide that additional utility to the team. But regardless, this is so frustrating because it feels like for 3 games now, Keria has been so active on the map for the entire duration of the game, and it's something that TES have not been able to stymie, slow down, or stop. Mako once again on the back foot. Yes, he has Leona, such a powerful pick. But Keria has just been able to be in more places thanks to the Bard, thanks to things like this Pyke.
2 Galio ults available here as we do have our first grub fight on our hands. Owner gets the smite.
Smite level 5. Probably very, very tanky. Nice interrupt coming in from Owner, steadfast presence. Tien still full health, so second grub is going to go over to the side of TES. Good to have that early boon.
Top is 40, second grub lane.
And 4 grubs, the threshold, but in an excellent position for the second spawn. One trying to get some bot lane priority, but don't have the best early dragon contest.
What's been so cool to watch T1 in this series, of course the outplays, you know, and the execution in their fights, but also they haven't taken any of these unnecessary fights from their perspective. You know, giving up the ones that they, well, let's see about this chicken fight first.
Tom being down big, but Baker is able to just punch his way out to safety.
And what the Bard and the Pyke have in common as well, and in this game we did actually end up lane swaps, is that the amount of impact that Keria had, I think domestically, was negligible. The coordination wasn't there. So him particularly on these extremely heavy road champions actually making the plays work out really big. I also want to highlight as out of a play of Cream again.
Going into the top fall, CC there, Cream getting lower and lower. Don't quite have the first damage to finish him off, but yeah, no TP, so that damage is going to stick. He has 3 biscuits and a pot. He's going to need to start chugging immediately.
Owner is on his way over on the Poppy as well. They're just pushing him out. Look at the zoning. You don't have to even go for too much more. You just push Cream away from the big old minion wave. Deny a couple of minions there at the tower. Make TES call the rest of their resources. Call over Tien, call over Mako to even help Cream be able to salvage the minions.
Something I do really like, want to highlight this, even though it is going to impact the team fighting, is that it looks like 369 is actually going for AD cannon. Because you already have the Kaisa, you have the Silas, you're not really in need of AP. The downside is that the team fighting value is really going to be struggling. To me, AD cannon is one of those picks that is very win-more. And with the way the early lane played out, Zeus had an early level lead, so you haven't actually been able to build the lead that I think you need for this pick to work inside.
It's true. And T1 also have the Pyke, which is also a win-more style pick. And so it feels like whichever team, similar to last game, is able to find that edge. a significant gold lead of any kind is really set to run away with this game 3 in a situation where TES are down 2 games. They have to find advantage. 369 walking up.
There he is here.
Mako going forward, not quite able to find the knockback into the wall. TN still has ultimate. Mako taking his time. Resistance is now fading away, and excellent use of the steadfast presence. Galio coming in. Faker en route. Jackie Love isolating Guma. Faker stepping up, and TN there to body block for the team. Keep your eyes on that pike hook. TN pulled over the wall. Owner! Not quite able to find the wall bang. TN now forced to retreat. Cream going in. Hasn't taken an ulti quite yet. Ulti response to the Poppy though. Can just keep the channel going, get that cooldown down to 15 seconds. And Zayas just trying to clear his wave as quickly as he can, but Mega is getting stacked.
He has flash.
थोड़ी देर में मेगा हो गया और बहुत प्यारा यूज का मेगा नार्क आउट प्ले. बहुत प्यारा यूज का मेगा नार्क.
Cream even had the Gnar ultimate, but Zayas was still ahead of him.
T1 strike first again. Under tower, pressured, low health bars, and the flash comes through into the wall, comboed into Faker's taunt, and T1 3-0 on the board.
And
the confidence and execution has just been better for T1 across this series, and we see it again. They had all of the tools to kill that Gnar, but in the seconds that rage bar ticked up, they didn't go fast enough. They weren't confident enough to take that play, and it all fell apart. Cream still has access to his Gnar ultimate for a little bit longer. Maybe he can get something back, but it's starting to feel like the writing is on the wall.
T1 have just looked fearless in this whole series. Last game was most evident in the quick plays. Here, these small advantages are actually accrued by TES. The big chunks in health bar on Owner, on Zeus there. The Galio ultimate already down. But look, Keria looks for another play. They get a flash out of TN, then Cream comes over with the extra health bar, and they want to force it. The small things, Conqueror here, already stacked by Cream. He wants to keep it up, and they turn towards Zeus.
And you can see the desperation, because even if they somehow get an ultimate, like Zeus was gonna hit Mega, no matter what in that play. And I think it's the pressure getting to TES. They could have opted out of that play and just taken the summoners, but they don't, and that might very well be it.
Zeus says, you may have stolen my ultimate, but you're just the knockoff version. Shows him the real thing.
And now second grub spawn. This is the thing, it's not just the gold to Zeus, it's control of the map, it's control in the 1v1. It's a 1,000 gold lead for Faker in the isolated 1v1 versus Silas.
And this was the champion that Faker used to desperately try and 1v9 his way to another Worlds win, right? Fell short, got dispatched by Samsung. And in this game, still the most fed member, by the way, making the impact on the side lanes as they look for another possible play onto Zeus. But now, because of those kills, or because of the assists rather, like Zeus has a lead into this AD matchup. Looks like Cream is gonna possibly get zoned off of the wave again.
Keria is a menace. This whole series, T1 dominating, Cream just has to watch.
And there's nothing he can do. Waits for the wave to get trimmed a little bit before he can even step up. Knows that he has to clear, and again with Death from below available, Ignite, Halo Blades, a Pike ahead of the curve, and a Galio that already has enough MR to mitigate any damage Cream could hope of doing. There's just so few angles to play. When you have the AD Kennen, when you have the Silas, if you get a lead, you can really take over the map. But they're behind so early. They're behind before Kennen's even completed an item.
I already dislike AD Kennen as soon as you start.
I pointed it out, and I wish you guys could have seen Kobe's face, because I'm like, oh fuck, maybe, you know, and Kobe was not. I mean, he's not having it.
I mean, dream scenario is you can like get to a point where you're playing side lanes, but they haven't been able to play.
You're also playing into Galio. I know you have Silos, but even then.
Also into Pike, right, who can just collapse on the side lane so quickly as again, Keria continues to wreak havoc. Good on TES, they are able to grab the objective. We're better on the setup, did get the push out, still behind, but holding on to something in this game.
The idea is we can play a large map. We can try and draw them apart. We have Jackie Love on Kaisa. We can try and make some trap plays.
Collapse,
but because they just keep getting behind so early here to T1 by simply outplaying them, it just seems like it is so out of reach.
Look at the siege! Midnight turret is just getting obliterated. TES continuously getting bullied off these turrets, and they have another desperation play in there, but like the gold lead is very quick. We're talking about 3.5k at 30 minutes.
What's terrifying is as the series has progressed, T1 have gotten more dominant. in every single game. And yes, last game was slow. It came down to 1 or 2 fights, but they had executed when it mattered. TES need to be willing to get aggressive. They need to be able to fish for these picks. This one probably won't work because Faker, again, doesn't take damage.
He is Mercs and Hollow Radiance. He's not taking damage.
1.7k gold ahead, fully built. Like, Faker is built different, and it is going to be too difficult to take him down.
I never knew what we meant by that was Mercs and Hollow Radiance, but now I understand very specifically what people mean when they say he's built different. As Pike going in, Phantom Undertow is clean, 369 running.
Oh, come on!
Hold on to the blast, but there's Honor!
Honor, record kill ke sath
T1. Mites coming in.
Turret big kill
T1
big.
making a montage out of TES in game 3.
TES coming for the closing on the blade.
Don't do it to him, MasterCard. Don't do it to him. Oh, the lane economy is bad. The economy is difficult. The economy is rough for TES again. Need to find angles, need to find fights, but a 5k gold difference before 15 minutes. TP in. T1 know they're stronger, they just want to keep fighting, they want to further cement their leads. AS, Rage perfectly stacked Cream, a chance of redemption. Can he find the angle this time around? The hook back, he's forced to flash away. AS shepherding them in, no play here for T1, maybe a bit over eager.
Looks like mid will fall to the minions there, so T1 not even gonna be that sad about that trade.
Another hook. Jackie Love forced to cleanse, not quite in range of the taunt. T1 almost getting the perfect combo.
I'm gonna have nightmares about Carrier's Pike, honestly.
I was about to say
Is he gonna hook you next?
Well,
I don't know. Hold on to me. I got your goat. Don't worry. I'm gonna let him get to you.
Carrier's gonna hook you
everywhere.
The stage.
The problem is, Carrie is not only terrifying TES, he's also going to ruin solo queue because everyone who thought, you know, maybe I don't need to play this champion, maybe it's not worth it.
The bards and pikes are going to be everywhere.
The bards and pikes are out tonight, boys. Halloween is coming early this
I
year.
want to give a little piece of wisdom by Carrie himself. You are not T1
Carrier.
Do not attempt to play this. And we're making jokes because it feels like this game is just completely out of control. Maybe TES can find the turn.
This has to be it. They have to get something here, but Owner's already walked away. Taunt coming from Faker. Nice ulti coming in from Cream. Owner set up ball.
That's one.
Top esport की
They could get a tower as well. The minion wave on bottom side. Maybe they can just push out this wave. They're not done.
Carrier going in. Finds the initial stun. No, Tian able to sidestep on the Phantom Undertow. Guma. Gnar there for Zayas. Wall up there. Coming in as well. Zayas getting lower. TES trying to hold on to the fights. Tian now chasing in. Jackie Love quick to follow. Guma has the ulti, has the cleanse, has the flash. Feathers go up. Comes down, walks away, knows that this is not their fight. TES striking back in this crucial game 3.
The second kill plus, they can keep pushing.
Another hook. Carrier's not done. Jackie Love down the tools. Going to the depth. Oh, it's clean! This man plays Pike. You love to see it. The ult. Not there for the execute, there for the range extension on the Phantom Undertow.
Still, TES gotta focus on the objectives. Tower that they were pushing towards on the bottom side. They need every bit of gold they can find on the rift, and they find a tiny bit more there.
These are the moments where if TES is gonna make their way back, it's gonna have to start small, individual pickoffs.
Yep. One step at a time.
T1 feel invulnerable with the lead that they have, but they are not ready for this teleport. This time Cream does actually get a really nice Gnar into the wall, allowing him to take out Owner. And then T1, again, as T1 does, goes in very aggressively. Crucially, Cream doesn't get hit by Zayas. So then Zayas is in Narnia. Faker doesn't actually deny Jackie Love access to the fight, and they're able to get another kill.
Good fight. Overall, this was Carrier. This is how you know Carrier. The bad Pikes, ult is just an execute. The good Pikes, oh yeah.
Oh, the reposition using the ultimate to ensure the stun lands after the flash.
Jackie walked out of the comfort of those minions.
That's Lobar having a good time.
Look, Carrier, that man is locked in. That man is laser focused.
Top esport ने अपना दूसरा turret ले लिया.
The good news again for TES. T1 have not won yet. Cream, the potential to steer that Gnar ultimate in all the fights to come, only getting more and more AP. T1 over eager in the previous fight, and TES now with much better tools to punish. And again, Pike is not a champion who scales gracefully into the game. Later, he's just going to get one shot by any piece of CC.
And can TES TES get to the point where they do pull T1 across the map. Now that both side lane towers are down, they're threatening these trailing plays, walking behind 369 as he pushes up. 369 with the teleport available. As they go for the jungle invade. Owner again with the smite actually secures.
Steadfast Preston comes out a little bit early, perhaps. T1 walking away. TES starting to move up. You can see them grouping so much. No one is responding to top wave yet. They're going to send Cream to catch it. And at least clear out mid, try to use that pressure to get some control somewhere on the map.
The game stage again, 4.5k gold lead. Definitely quite rough. My main thing, we haven't really talked about him yet, is the fact that Guma is disaccelerated. Specifically, him on Xayah gives so much additional safety in team fights. I think we saw in the previous fight, he wasn't really able to be a big part of it. There's a large reason of why TES was able to actually make the plays. But Jackie only sitting on an item. We talked about this, the spike for this Kai'Sa isn't really going to be the same way it was. And that was also a very different game state with the Ezreal being even, as opposed to really far behind. But you really need that third item before you become a big menace. But with Guma being as far ahead as he is, I think TES is going to have to find a way to get on top of the Xayah. Infinity Edge now done as well.
But getting on top of anyone on T1 has been the struggle of TES across the entire series. They're just always out of reach.
Again, because in draft, T1 recognized very early on that you're going to go for dive. And so they're drafting all this counter dive. Galio, Poppy, Xayah, even Gnar. T1 here pushing out once again, sending Faker to the top side with his newly completed Rift Maker.
Area.
It's a lot of people.
A little bit crazy. It's just going to swap places there. The hook, the Phantom Undertow. Now TES starting to get into that vision control. Umbral Glaive allowing T1 so much more control. As long as it's not off cooldown, you know you're invisible on the map.
Gold lead has been very stable though, and for TES, I think that's the best you're going to get in a situation like this. Try and trade as evenly as you can. As you get deeper into the game, those relative differences of items are going to matter less. I do gotta say though that this 80 cannon, again, the position that you're in, you're 900 gold behind on a pick that really needs to get an early lead and run away with it. If you want to be able to actually match the team fight impact of the Gnar.
Plus the problem right now is, even if you want to play so much on side lanes and on a spread map, it's really difficult the way the game is set up with objectives to actually fully win a game that way. And so at some point you're gonna be forced to try and go through a Poppy and through a Galio ult. T1 here though, poking around, try and flirt with a possible red steal, but it will not be theirs. TES secure it.
Area, again, going very deep for these plays.
Constantly off to the side, but again he has Mercs, able to walk away initially. Poppy all coming out, but it's not enough! T1 now trying to disengage desperately, but Cream going in. Gumayushi.
Mako's had enough! Mako has had enough of Karia's antics! The punish is good from TES, but unfortunately for them, there is no big objective to take, and so it's just the kill money for now.
But good to get that money back. Crucial to get that money back. Again, 2 items on Jackie. You talked about 3 items when that poke can start to come through. Stop T1 from being able to find fights so reliably. Even with MR in the inventory, that Kai'Sa poke can be insurmountable.
Faker's on his way!
Faker off to the side. 369. But it's Faker versus 4 here on the bottom side. Faker can force ult out. Being zoned off, ensuring that Zeus can push the wave, but that TP not really amounting to much.
Yeah, they want to take advantage since Cream was up on top side with no teleports to be able to join, but the rest of T1 also a bit too far for the wheel track.
And I will say that the discipline we saw from T1 in Game 1 and Game 2 isn't quite as omnipresent.
I think most of them have been very disciplined. I think Carry has not. As you know, when you do play Pike, definitely trying to style a little bit, but do not underestimate
Top esports चार player,
the team fighting potential of this team again. I want to go in that Gnar ultimate that Silas can steal. Dracula now hitting his 2-item spike. See if they're able to use that as, if they lose another fight, then the Baron becomes available for T1. They have control of the pit, start of the objective here. As Zeus does just now timeout on his Mega Gnar.
Good fight timing. Carry not gonna hit the hook, force back for at least a few seconds.
There's a TP.
TP now coming in,
Baron's
369, not the AP cannon again, is about to just get one shot completely here. Carrier fighting the kill onto 369. TES trying to fire back, but they're down to man. There might not be a making over for T1, but they might not need it. TES, at the very least, getting the steal. Retreat coming out. Carrier will not find the hook.
Michael towards Nash is T1. Don't see the pings going down, but they are very clearly faking in that direction. No 369, 20 seconds, does have the teleport available.
Cream no ultimate, Cannon no ultimate, Tien no ultimate. This is such a brutal fight.
No, it's not being started yet.
That blue ward is crucial. Guma gonna start it. They're baiting. They're forcing T1 to come respond. Or sorry, excuse me, TES to respond. Mako. Where's the hook gonna go? Baker right on top of Mako. Cream doesn't really have a recourse here.
planning के साथ बहुत उम्दा.
Jackie Love still standing. Carrier running for the hills. It's all about this 80 carry. It's all about Jackie Love. 369. No ulti. Maybe no hope. Flashback onto the ultimate from Zayas. The taunt not gonna connect. Crucially, the stun coming from 369. TES. Jackie Love fighting their way back in game 3.
बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं.
Strong. The blades are called. The feather's there. Jackie Love gone. Carrier stepping up. The hook not going to hit. Zeus running a close fight, but T1 still standing.
And so much is invested there for the fight. Even though it was close, still not going the way of TS, but crucially, they deny the Baron attempt here from T1.
Look at the face check here, right into Faker again, so you think it's going to be all over as they just burst down. Mako with the return damage. Jackie firing, gets the first kill for them, takes down Owner, and then it's all about the focus damage. Jackie flashes both Faker and Zeus for the re-engage. The Galio shield barely keeping him up. Jackie commits to go finish him, and Guma punishes.
But at that point, like that Galio is out of the fight, going in that aggressively. Might come back to bite you. You use both summoners. You got the kill on the tank, but Guma got the immediate shutdown. And T1 still trying to actually close out this game. Guma now on free items on the Xayah.
TES showing some life though in these fights, fighting back. They're not going to go down that easily. Let's see about the next attempt because they're grouping for it.
Can't afford to make a mistake though. 2.5 items to 3. Guma's looking powerful. Good interrupt on the initial engage coming in from Mako. No re-engage option there. Lock it gone. Zeus on the side, but he just went mini.
That was a tumultuous blast cone.
A little bit awkward. Hook from Carrier. Follow up, Cream forced the dash and protocol again. T1 just chipping away at these TES cooldowns.
Jackie has to be so careful now too. No summoner spells on the Kaisa. With Guma having both, you have to think that Xayah will just be so
They do have patient with the crab that they got, so know that Baron isn't being started. T1 still fishing. I don't think they're really gonna get anything here.
Guma trying to do a little baiting maybe even here with the Xayah, with ult and double sums. Very confident to take the minion wave.
This is such an easy Baron for T1. If TES walk into this 3-item Xayah, they will get slaughtered.
For Jackie, that's a 3-item PowerPoint, but I don't know if he's gonna be in time.
Objective. Burn, burn, burn. 369. Cannon ready to go. 3K getting lower. Knocked back by Owner. Finishes the job, and now Mako has been caught out. T1 with the Baron. Back from Mako. TES trying to stand strong. Zeus ready to go into the midst of the fight. Knockup not going to connect from the Galio. TES starting to walk forward. TES do not want to let them walk away with this Baron buff, but they might have to. Tien going in. A little bit of help going back. Jackie Love again, the AP he needs to continue to harass, but T1 crucially walk away with the Baron.
Mako has to go back to base. They actually got such a good Poppy ultimate combined with Faker trapping Mako for the big damage and earning the extra health bar lead. After they had already acquired the Baron, now they can push out.
Guma still had his ultimate available there, and if you over dive into that, and he can just hike back with the feathers. That was level 16!
I mean, and the thing is, you have to fight him. You have to go into him. Your wave clear on this team is abysmal. Yes, you're so good at these scrappy fights inside the cannon, but it's not AP cannon. He can't just one-shot. He can't one-shot clear a wave. So the options for TES are starting to dwindle one by one in the face of this T1 Baron buff.
Yeah. 369 actually, he was the one getting one shot at the last dragon fight.
Yeah.
Going right next to the wall. This time around, with dragon spawning very shortly, T1 have an easy way to pick up the bottom tower. Carrier actually is tanking it.
Still a lot of HP for that, but has the Baron powered recall, so we'll be fine. And now the collapse from T1. Recognizing the 369. Trying to put pressure on the side wave.
Another TP.
And again, another situation. Flash out from Guma.
It's good.
Positive trade on the top
trap.
side. Owner gonna get taken
Top
down. Good trap. Knockback. No, he's
बहुत
not.
प्यारी अल्ट का इस्तेमाल ओनर का, बहुत उम्दा।
Cream chasing. No one else here, but surely he can take down Owner. Knockback. The Poppy zooming the chain lash should surely get the job done, and it will. Carrier won't be able to save the jungler, but it costs so much for TES.
Dragon's up.
TES, they just keep holding on by such a small margin. Critical pick taking down T1's jungler. No spite for T1
Double
now.
TPs in a massive wave bot side.
Oh,
Someone on TS has to respond.
They also got the flash from Guma. Tian actually doing a lot of damage, but Guma is just soloing the dragon.
Can TS look for something while Owner is down?
Zeus.
घुमा
Again,
इसी
stacking
अकेले
their
में
rage.
ड्रैगन
TS has to be
करके
careful. They can't afford to take the fight
ये
when Meganar is
ड्रैगन T1
present.
की तरफ गया।
Jackie loves summoner spell cooldowns right around the corner. Flash about to be up. Maybe then TES can try to find their fight.
TES,
घुमा इसी 3
they don't want this to be a repeat of their 3-0 at MSI. Trying their very hardest, still clinging on to this game, even though it is tenuous. Jackie Love about to hit his Void Staff, slowly getting closer to the penetration item for Cream as well. But I do think, again, if that damage doesn't land on the Guma, I don't know how much of it matters.
Initial hook, just a bit of poke though, at least no Mako's there.
He's low.
Guma isolated, forced to ult a little bit earlier than anticipated. Phantom Undertow trying to cover the retreat. T1 backing up. TES looking to gain control of the mid wave. Meanwhile, 369 to the bottom lane, pushing up, putting that pressure on T1, but T1 might just look for the 5v4. Area hook going wide. Still has the spell shield for now, however.
Guma can just heal up off the jungle camps right now, but the split push is taking its toll. Another minion wave here up to the tower. 369 taking away extra turret health. T1 actually makes a cross map play.
Tier 2 likely for Tier 2, but Cream is stepping up.
Gonna take him a while. Compared to that 80 cannon.
Going in, finds the initial stun, steals away the Pike ulti. Carrier instantly gone, knows he can't afford that one. So it will be the trade in the end, but good defense from Cream to stop them from getting anything else.
Jackie, see if he can find a W, doesn't look like it. Carrier not going to give him the opportunity.
Carrier is incredibly, incredibly vulnerable when that spell shield is not available.
Yes, holding on, sticking in this series, just barely. See big item completions coming through for T1 though. It gets harder and harder and harder.
Oh, maul for Guma.
I mean, they're so much magic damage. 80 cannon is, it's tough to balance.
But he kind of has to with the comp, right? The reason he's doing it is because Jackie wanted to go AP Kaisa.
100%. And AP Kaisa is incredibly, the poke is so good against the T1 comp that really doesn't have any poke of their own. So there's a world where, as it starts to even up, as these goal differences start to mean less and less, where TES can just sit at arm's reach the same way the T1 have done to them the last 2 games and just poke with this Kaisa.
Great point though, it's going to be this Baron fight. T1 is 100% going to try and take that. While their lead is as big as it is, 3 items on Zeus, 3 items on Faker, 4 items on Guma. But we are slowly getting to the point where, as you mentioned, I think particularly Jackie Love having the agency, looks like he's going for the Crypt Bloom, trying and get the poke, trying and keep that backline of T1 guessing.
How much power is in that IG Kaisa, that world champion? Is it enough to put a stop to T1's dominance in this series?
This is a team built on legends of years past. 369's won MSI, Jackie Love, Mako, TN, all winning worlds on different lineups in different years. To go out with this again, go out well before you're supposed to against a T1 that no one expected to perform at this tournament. Against a T1 that took down so many seeds of the LPL, each and every single one of them last year, would be crushing. In a city where TN himself won worlds.
Yeah, there it is. As expected, T1, look at the darkness, Umbral Glaive. Only going to be the poke from Jackie that can try and provide a little bit of vision in the darkness.
Another Baron, another round of baits. The dance continues. T1 have gotten so many picks throughout this entire series, baiting on Baron. Now they're just going to try and burn through it again. They start damage. Guma's not even showing that he's doing damage to Baron. He's poking at mid, now they go. The Squire is there.
TP immediately coming in from 269, but he's behind the team. He's not looking to play for the flank. Objective getting burned down. TN doesn't really have access to the mid. Two-man taunt coming in as well. Carry is starting to step up, so looks like going a bit wide, but it's Cream on the flank. Cream has to do so much, but the feathers are there! Oh, Guma usually was just one step ahead. The flank denied, but the rest of TES trying to make good. Baker put together.
Baker is down. T1 just have to leave. The price they paid for that Baron.
Doesn't mean a possible soul point here for TES. As that exit kill was big, the TP to come in. They have to force the issue right now while Faker is dead. And not allow T1 to use the power of this Baron buff.
Cream still has the Gnar ultimate. Still that lingering threat. Guma, flash, cleanse, ult. It has to come down to him if they want to stop this.
Barriers behind them.
How much can the Pike do in isolation? Spell shield there. Waiting as long as possible.
Heart attacks. All game long.
T1 doesn't have to go for this though. They can just push with Baron if they decide to do so.
They want the fight. Making our stack ready to go. Cream again on the flank. The objective already down. Again, TES, good discipline. They walk away immediately, but they need to take care of these waves.
One cannon minion here for T1 to push with. Don't know if they'll be able to do much though, because Faker's got a catch bottom.
Credit to TES. Yes, they can see Baron, but at this kind of deficit, it feels like an inevitability short of a desperate flash in. Cream has a decent flank. It's interrupted initially, but that kill onto Faker buys TES a bit more space, a bit more time, slows this Baron down. There's only 90 seconds, 3 waves more left on this Baron buff. They've already handled 2 of them.
Yeah, TES getting options for themselves. Jackie able to poke with the Kaisa W's now.
7k gold difference दोनों टीमों में जबकि kills difference 2
They don't have teleports currently, so T1 should have the big advantage in side lanes and looking for the trap play. Yes, they have to worry a little bit, but Jackie continues to grow. Level 17 now for that Kaisa.
And Guma's maxed out. Like yes, level 18 full build now. Finishes BT, which I do really like into Kaisa specifically. The extra sustain makes a big difference because this poke really hurts with poke was not done. But it does feel, again, with some of the mid-game discipline lacking from T1 and TES, not giving up, not taking the punches, but instead looking for counterplay, have given them another opportunity to try and claw their way back into this best of 5.
Credit to TES, this game looks done in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And they have fought back. They have found a way. They've punished T1 where they can. They bought the time that they needed for Jackie Love to scale up, and that's the most you can do. And now the question is, as the fights are starting to get closer and closer, and the goal lead means less and less, can they find one more fight to even up this game?
Jackie with the Knight's Vow on him from Mako, and the hopes of TES resting on his shoulders. And they find another pick.
They can't just dive in. Is the problem. Their engage is fairly lackluster, right? You're only looking at Carrier trying to hook, and that side wave is getting pushed in again.
Mako has pulled out a few plays though. See if you can do it again. Some snappy flashes.
We talked about it earlier, but Carrier's at the point in the game where if he missteps, he dies immediately. Hook not going to connect. Mako's taunted. Wind becomes lightning. Fighting in the choke though difficult against Guma, who does so much work. Easy kill
कहा था
TES.
अपने आइटम्स के साथ कहर बन जाएंगे इनके लिए गुमा यूसी ट्रिपल किल के
Is
साथ
that really how it ends? Just like that?
मिड क्लियर करते हुए
There's no Jackie, there's no Cream, they can't go these waves!
T1 continue to march forward undeterred, unstopped. TN barely escaping, but T1 aren't done. They don't even have a wave. They might not even care. Zayas goes in for the crunch.
Yes.
The wave on the way. T1 looking to knock TES out. The inevitable march forward. T1 refused to lose a best of 5 to the LPL. They had TES
के साथ ये जायरा का
taken down. T1 at Worlds are Titans.
अपनी जगह सेमीफाइनल में बुक करते हुए